The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
You know, sometimes we do a show for the East Coast. Today we're doing a show for the West Coast. Welcome to a late edition of the Bostonian versus the Book. Dave Sharapan, the Book, Matt Perrault, the Bostonian. It is a 12:30 Pacific time, 3:30 Eastern time start for today because Dave had to go get something checked out with the doc. Very important stuff. How are you, sir? Is everything okay?
Everything's fine, as well as fine could be. I did a neuropathy test. You know what that is?
Absolutely no idea.
Neuropathy, checking the nerves. All right.
Oh.
They got to check whether you got everything's supposed to feel like it's supposed to feel. Arms, legs. So they said, wear comfortable clothing, preferably t-shirt and shorts. So can I wear a hat? Because I always wear a hat. Yes. And we're going to come in and test you. I said, okay. And I remember this test from the month after I took the stroke, or after I had the stroke. And a woman named Lorraine had a little too much joy and pleasure in giving me like a cattle prod shocks. And I was like, okay. So when I called this morning to confirm and everything, I said, is this the one that hurts? And the woman said, well, it depends on who you ask if it hurts. Oh,
Great
okay.
answer.
That's right. I remember. All right.
Answer's yes.
Yeah. So I get there bright and early, not ish time. I'm early time. When I got an appointment, I'm early all the time. So I'm there, set up, ready to go. I'm waiting in a waiting room. Come on. What are we doing? I got to go do the BVB. Just for the record. Sorry, Will. Nobody gives a shit that I got to come do the BVB. So I'm pacing in the office. Then I asked twice, am I in the right place? When's my supposed to have the test? Supposed to be with you in a minute, sir. You keep saying that. You said that 15 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. So Andre calls me back and says it's time to go. We sit down. He said, I'm sorry for the wait. I apologize for the delay. We had a man fall down.
Ooh.
He was a big guy and he couldn't get up. And I go, was he doing this test or was he doing a different test? I mean, that's a fair question.
Heck yeah.
No, he's doing a different test. I said, oh, okay, good. Puts that gel on you and, stickers all over you. And he goes, all right, are you ready? And I said, yeah. Zit, zit. Oh, you okay? Yeah, I'm all right. Zit, zit. Did you feel that? Well, yeah, I did. Am I supposed to? Well, yeah, you just didn't react. And I'm like, yeah, I got a high tolerance for pain. I mean, how many times are you going to do this? Oh, we got to do both arms, both legs. I said, oh, okay. All right. So we went through. The legs were fun because I feel the legs a lot more. He said the arms are more sensitive. I said, there's no chance that my arms are more sensitive than my legs. Picked up my leg, held it up and said, make it limp. I giggled. And then because he said, make it limp. And I'm like, it is. What do you think's going on here? And he zapped me and he goes
10 times harder now.
He goes, man, you got some big calves. I said, Andre, can we get the test done, please? Let's go.
Yeah. Can we please go?
And we got done. Everything. I got a follow-up appointment to this appointment. But I can tell you this. If I'm supposed to feel shocks, everything is working just fine right now. Just
good
fine.
To hear. BVB live on YouTube and Twitter, as always, replayed on Sports Grid TV, replayed on Sirius XM channel 159. We have a lot of good things to get to. It's a Wednesday. That means it's a college football Wednesday. We are on later than normal, so we do. If you guys who are in the chat, thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you guys being with us. Let's talk about what happened last night. Dive right into it. The Phillies continue to absolutely rake. 10-0 the victory last night over the Diamondbacks. Schwarber goes deep 2 more times. The second home run, how did he hit that out?
Don't know.
I mean, that was all arms. That was like a wrist flick. That was just like, oh my. The second one, you're like, yeah, this game is over. The Phillies aren't going to lose a game at home in this series, right?
I can't say that definitively, but it's going to be pretty tough to beat them there. The way they are, I don't know if there's an indicator. I don't know what is happening at the plate, but they are getting cuts. Like, I don't want to start the trash can stuff again, but it feels like they know what's coming, when it's coming, and they are making no mistake with it. They are hitting it over the fence. They got 17 home runs in 4 postseason games or something. That's the most home runs in a 4-game stretch, tied the record for all of baseball.
How many solo home runs have they hit? Do you
lot,
know?
though. A lot. It's a lot.
They're like all solo shots. It's weird.
A lot
it's
of solo shots. A lot.
I mean, this is what that team does. Like, they hit solo home runs, which is a little. I mean, it's got to be scary for somebody because if they start getting guys on base and doing this, 10 runs might be irregular.
Yes. Yeah. Depending on the pitching matchup, they can be beat at home, but it's going to take somebody pitching 7 innings, 2 earned or less. Like, that's the way they got to lose. That's the only way, because they're getting good cuts. They're moving runners. Schwarber went first to third yesterday. They were teasing him after the game. We're going to call you Schwar Wheels instead of Schwarber. Thought it was hilarious. They're playing great defense. Bohm's play at third that's one you're going to see over and over and over. Everything's happening for the Phillies right now. Everything.
640 plus 640, the price on the Diamondbacks to win this series.
Yeah. You want that?
No. Just bringing it up.
Do you think they can win game 3?
Yes. It's been an underdog postseason.
Oh, yeah, it has.
So, I mean, does it?
But not now.
If it continues, maybe there's some value to come in and jump in on the Diamondbacks at plus 640. Take a shot. If you get to a game 7, you're going to be able to hedge.
I could tell you this: you could buy the exactas right now with Arizona.
Right.
Arizona over. I'll give you the current prices right now because I can log into one joint and find it. Let me see here. We are. If this interests you.
It does.
So you can do at one of the places here in town, Arizona over Texas. That's likely, right?
Possibly,
in the World Series.
Right.
26.5 to 1.
Wow. I was going to say 50 to 1. Okay. It's half what I thought it was going to be.
Well, after the Rangers win today, that will be a lot higher. Or actually a lot lower because it's actually going to happen. Rangers. Diamondbacks over Astros.
Rangers aren't winning today.
95 to 1 today. 95. So $20 $1,800.
Diamondbacks over the Astros.
Yep. $20 picks up.
What's Astros over the Diamondbacks?
Astros over the Diamondbacks is 75 to 1, sir. There's your value.
There's
if you think
play.
The Astros
are
going to still be alive.
Well, what's Astros over the Phillies?
Astros over the Phillies right now is 11.5 to 1.
Yuck. Gross. Okay. That's not nearly as good as I thought it was going to be.
You thought it was going to be higher?
Yeah. To bet it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the Phillies prices, I can tell you this. People keep asking me, what's the series price going to be? I think it's a dead pick 'em, depending on who pitches, how many games, because if they have to use Wheeler in a game 5, they can't use him in a game 1, most likely. So he'll be game 2.
Are we just advancing the Rangers ahead of time here?
No. You always speculate. What do you make the number? What do you make the numbers? Texas favored, how much, blah, 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 blah. Because Texas has home field against the Phillies.
Right. Yeah, right.
Okay,
right.
So
the Astros do too, though, right?
Phillies, well, yeah. Yeah.
They both do. Okay.
Phillies, Rangers. Phillies over the Rangers is plus 140. And Phillies over the Astros right now is 8 to 1. So
you could buy an Astros over Phillies ticket if you think the Astros are going to win the ALCS.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about tonight.
There you go.
Rangers are minus 134. Mad Max against Javier. Some very interesting stats going into this game tonight. So in September, the Houston Astros outscored the Texas Rangers in Dallas 39-10 over a 3-game series. They scored 4.
Say that again. That was what? That was
in September.
3-game series.
3-game series in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Houston outscored the Rangers 39-10.
Yeah, that's when the Rangers were their worst, right? That was when they were going through that stretch where it didn't even look like they were going to make the playoffs.
No, it was middle of the month. It was right when they were up and down, like they were scuffling. But I mean, they gave up 14, 13, and 12 runs over a 3-game period.
It's a bad 3 days.
Astros rake. And in the beginning part of the year, the Astros took 2 of 3 against. They went 5-1 in Dallas this year. Like, this series is not anywhere near closed. Back-to-back starts for Javier with no earned runs given up.
Right.
We're going with Mad Max tonight, who hasn't pitched in a month.
Right.
What do you expect of him? Because I know what I'm getting out of Javier.
I have no idea what I'm getting out of Max. Numbers, it's solid 130, a couple places down south, down 125, 124. I'm going to guess the bad guys are going to bet Houston.
Fair. I bet Houston.
I think they're going to bet Houston because you just said it.
I think
you know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting with Max.
I think you could just go Houston team total over. I think you go game over. I think it's Houston money line. I think it's Houston run line. I think you can go ahead and I love Javier starting. He's been absolutely unbelievable, and his postseason resume is incredible. I mean, he is hard to hit, even in this ballpark.
I should put the Astros hat on for this.
I think this series is going 7. I think tonight the Astros win. Tonight it's 2-1. I think they win game 4. Rangers win game 5. Astros win game 6. And then we go to a game 7 in Houston.
Good point by Jay Dalbets in the chat. And again, thank you guys for being here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, etc., etc., etc. Don't be a bum. Hit the thumb, all that things. Leave a comment. If you watch the show on YouTube, leave a comment. Anything. We'll find it. We'll respond. All of that.
We see it.
Everyone talks about Javier's outing against the Twins in the ALDS. He only gave up 1 hit, but he gave up 5 walks.
Okay. How many runs?
Over.
How many runs?
Over. We're gonna get Houston. We'll maybe get first 5 over. This feels like a game that I mean, if Maxey gives up 3 or 4, the winning team's going to get 5.
Christian Javier in the postseason is 5-1 with a 1.91 ERA, 57 strikeouts, and 15 appearances.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the walks. He doesn't give up runs.
Should be. The playoffs. His walks turn into runs.
Doesn't give up runs. He strands runners like crazy.
Yeah. I don't know.
This is the guy you want.
We got a bunch of people in here. Houston or Texas, who wins tonight?
This is the guy you want. I mean, in terms of to me, this is the guy you want on the mound. That whether there was a bug going through the Astros locker room or not, it should be gone by now. This guy should be good. And you've got a guy who hasn't pitched in a month.
Oh, they got a bug too. I got a bug. It's brutal.
Remember, that was the whole rumor about what's going on with Yordan Alvarez. He was dealing with a flu bug in game 1 and game 2. So he still went deep. He still had a home run. With that.
I don't know.
I like Houston tonight to win game 3. I think they win 3 and 4. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see. Game 5, we'll get back to the starting pitcher that you like. And my guess is they throw Montgomery in game 5. It might even throw him in game 4.
Man, oh man. This is great. You could see it in the chat. You know how the line's right? Our chat right here. Houston, Texas. Texas, Houston. Texas, Houston. Houston, Houston. I'm on Rangers, but it's been a while since I've hit a bet. Thanks, DGen4TW. Houston, give me Bochies. Give me the Bochies. Chef Benny, over to Houston's due. I hate the due. Don't bet on the due.
No.
The due is no good.
There's no due. Bet on the starting pitcher that you've got up against Mad Max.
Mr. C, one of our baseball guys, says Space City. I don't know. I am torn. I went and bet the Phillies yesterday. I felt confident in that. I bet the Phillies, and I bet the Phillies to win the World Series at a price that I thought was good, just to add to the pile. I don't know what I'm going to do after we finish the show, but I'm probably going to take a position on something, maybe on both of these teams in the World Series, in one of those exacta prices. We'll see.
I mean, Astros over the Phillies at 11-1 is not bad.
Yeah, I
That's
mean
not bad.
it's not bad.
Because what's the price? Because if the price is, I mean, Houston should be favored in that series, right?
It's going to
Home
be
home
it's going to
field
be
defending
close. I mean,
champs.
I don't think either team's more than minus 120 over the other.
Right. So okay. So say it's plus 110 on the other side, right? Or plus 120 on the other side, depending on what book they're going to use for a price. Plus 115. You could have 11-1 or plus 115.
Right.
I mean, or you can
But
do,
you got to get the matchup.
right. You got to get that matchup. But I'm saying you'd bet it afterwards. You take the 11-1 and then you hold it and wait and see. And if you get the Astros and the Phillies, you bet the other side and you know, bet 4 or 5 units on the other side, and you're good to make. You're guaranteed to make 5 or 6 units.
Right.
On it. I don't mind that play at all. I think I probably would do that. You got to get the matchup, obviously, but you know, I think that there's an opportunity there with Astros and the Phillies to make money. Now it could be Rangers. I mean, Rangers win game 3. That number goes skyrocketed. It was, I was dying laughing last night when you heard Derek Jeter say, you know, we lost a series down 3-0, and David Ortiz went, "You did?" And it was just like, I was like, I love you, David Ortiz. So it's not over. I don't think it's over if they lose tonight, but
right.
I think they win tonight. I think we're seeing 2-1, and that series is going to be a war. I don't see a thing going quick. 7 games.
If we said it, was that yesterday? If Texas wins tonight, the series is over. I still feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
If the Phillies win tomorrow,
good night. I agree. Good night. They're not losing a home game the rest of the way. They're undefeated in the playoffs. They're not losing at home.
You keep saying that out loud. I really wish you wouldn't.
It doesn't matter what I say out loud. It doesn't matter what I say out loud. It's the truth. They haven't lost at home. They're not going to lose at home in the playoffs. Don't see it. Maybe Texas goes in there. The Astros are the team that could do it because they're a better. I don't understand why they're a better road team than a home team, but the numbers are ridiculous for Houston. They are way better on the road.
Sometimes it's just about playing ahead. Some teams just play like when you're the visitor and you score first. It's a different. You can kind of play the game a little different when you're home and the other team scores first. You're counter punching, and maybe I don't know. There were times, you know, when we played when the girls. I liked being the visitor, and I liked scoring first and putting the pressure on and dictating what we were going to do next. You know, as far as I felt like we were in more control of the game sometimes. Other times, when our pitcher was dealing, I'd rather be the home team. Every time you don't score and we come up, you're worried that we're going to take a lead or two, run or two, and then you're going, uh-oh, now we can't get to them. So, I don't know. Tomorrow's a bullpen game with Houston and Texas, right?
That's the problem for the Rangers, yes.
That's bad for Texas. So
that's what I mean. Game 1, you win tonight. You win game 4. Then you're back to Montgomery. And okay, now you can win game 5, game 6 to Houston, game 7, flip a coin.
Oh, you have that all mapped out already?
That's how I think it goes.
Jeez.
That's how I'll bet it. If it goes that way, that's how I'll bet it. I'll bet Houston tonight. I did. I'll bet Houston tomorrow. I'll bet the Rangers in game 5. And then game 6 is the scary one because Houston
loses tonight. What are you going to do tomorrow?
If Houston
loses tonight, if Texas wins, you're going to still bet Houston tomorrow?
No, I probably won't bet it.
Oh.
Probably leave it alone because the Astros can win game. A bullpen game is really bad, but for both teams, it could be bad too. So I don't know. I don't know if the Astros have got that in them to come back. Like when you're the champ, you've played a lot of baseball over the last 2 years, a lot of injuries.
You said just 2 minutes ago that the Astros could win 4 in a row.
They could, but I don't know if I'm going to bet it, though. I mean, I got to see it. It's one thing for me to say it. Different if I'm going to bet it, different story. I want to see. I got to see
it on the record. I said if Texas wins, it's a wrap.
Yeah, and I'm not going there. I'm not saying it's a wrap. I don't agree, but I'm not saying
but
you're
not
wrong.
ready to bet it the other way.
Correct. I'm not ready to bet it. I want to see, do they have it in them to rally, win a game 4, maybe win a game 5, get it back to Houston and see what happens. They have home field. This is where the 2-3-2 comes into play because you get it back in your place, and I don't care if you're bad at home or not. I'd much rather play a playoff game 6 and game 7 in my building than not. And use my fans in my environment and just be more comfortable sleeping in my own bed, like all of those things coming up for a game 6 and a game 7. So if you get it back to Houston, even down 3-2, I think the Astros still very much are alive. It's just The interesting thing is going to be this. If the American League Championship Series goes 7 and the Phillies sweep, they're going to be sitting for a week and a half.
Oh, here we go with the sitting again.
Are they not sitting for a week and a half?
Oh, my God. The Rangers, what if they sweep? We're betting everything on the National League team if it goes 6 or 7?
No, because the National League Series is not going 6 or 7.
What are you talking about? What if the Diamondbacks win tomorrow?
Okay. I don't think the Diamondbacks are going to be around for more than 5 games.
They're not going back to Philly.
I don't believe so, no. I don't believe so.
Okay.
I mean, just they're right now. The Diamondbacks have had an amazing season. This is an incredible accomplishment to get to the National League Championship Series, but they've run into a team that just is way better. Better on every level. More experienced.
Good,
they're more experienced. They're built better. They've been focused on this for a long time. This feels not from a world championship standpoint, but this feels like it's a speed bump to the World Series. Like this has not been competitive for the first 2 games.
They better win game 3.
Right. So if they sweep them, and
win game 3.
If they sweep them and they're up 4 games to none, they sweep them out. They're going to sit, right? I mean, the World Series doesn't start until the last week of October, right?
Yes. Saturday would be game 5. Monday, Tuesday for game 6 and 7 in the NL. Game 7 would be Monday night in the AL. I believe it starts Saturday.
Like the 28th, right?
I think it's Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. So Saturday the 28th. So they're going to sit.
Let's see, Saturday the 20th. I think that's the first game.
They would win Friday, so they would sit for 8 days. If it's Friday, it's a week.
If it's a sweep?
It's a sweep.
Yeah.
So that's not good. I wouldn't want to sit. That would concern me given the way my team's playing. Baseball is not meant to be this way where you sit for 7 days and no play. And everyone, I mean, Philadelphia will go crazy. The city will have nothing but nonstop stories. The local media will be at a froth at the mouth every day. It'll be Phillies, Red October, you know. The more that Jalen Hurts stinks playing quarterback for the Eagles, the bigger the push is going to be on the Phillies.
Right.
So
we'll worry about the rest when we get there. I'm worried about the games now. So
correct.
We'll see. I think the lean tonight is over.
Oh, no, I agree. Over 9.5. Money line, Astros. Run line, Astros. Team total, Astros, over. And you could come back with team total over Rangers too if you want. But that's how I think this game plays out. I've only made 1 play on it so far. That's the money line ticket plus 115. But I may be coming in with more later before the game starts tonight for that. All right, to hockey we go. Last night, 5-2-2 for unders after a low-scoring Monday, low-scoring Tuesday. The books were jacking these things up after week 1 in the NHL. It was 6.5 or 7, pretty much across the board. Occasionally, you saw a 6. Once in a while, an outlier at 5.5 involving the Bruins or depending on the book for the Golden Knights. Is that just because teams take a little while to get their defensive prowess set here? Because some of those games last night were really low scoring.
Well, one team was low scoring. The other team was high scoring. There was 5-1 games, 4-1 games. There's
2-0 games too.
Well, Arizona and the Islanders. I mean, that was the best game on the board yesterday to go under. And that
Vancouver was 2-0. Vancouver was 2-0. It scored 2 goals in the first period.
Yeah, that was an odd one.
Nobody scored again.
That one was an outlier score for the type of game to be expected.
Shots on goal, yeah. Expected goals and expected high danger chances were high in that game.
Right.
And yet they didn't score.
Yeah, but I mean, Kings was 5-1. Edmonton was 6-1. Avalanche over Kraken 4-1. Hurricanes flew over against the Sharks.
That was the over.
These teams that are going to do this West Coast swing, depending on when they get the Sharks, boy, that's going to be a long season for the Sharks. Give up a ton of shots, and they caught the Hurricanes coming off a bad loss to the Ducks.
4 goals in the third period for Carolina.
Yeah, and just like Edmonton, had 4 goals in the first period. Somebody had to pay for their back-to-back losses,
right?
And they came out fast and poured it on. 3-2 is going to be the common score in games, especially with them playing They're not playing for the overtime, but you could tell the road teams are literally happy to get a point right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think we're going to see, at least early on, if it's a tie game halfway through the third period, you're probably in game and under, because a lot of times you'll see 6.5 be the total, a 2-2 game, 6.5, and it'll start moving with the juice, moving with the juice, moving with the juice, and then it goes to 5.5, and you can actually get plus money at 5.5, and there's no more goal scored, because if there's a goal scored, then you got to worry about the empty netter and the game going 6. That's the danger. Books will start to adjust the overall numbers, but right now, it's deciding between 6 and 6.5, not 5.5 and 6. Not yet.
Not yet. Right. And I'm curious, still bet overs. I would still be recommending overs until that happens, until we get to 5.5 or 6, because that's going to happen soon. Like we talked about it last night, but the Winnipeg Jets, historically speaking, when you have, something's wrong with Connor Hellebuyck. Like I don't know what it is, but he is not performing the way you would expect a guy of that caliber.
3 games, man. Right?
He's given up 4, 4, and 5 in 3 games.
Happens.
He's a Vezina Trophy candidate.
Happens.
Whew.
Slow start.
Happens. Slow start. 13 goals in 3 games is more than a slow start. That is, something's wrong. Like something's not going right. Either defensively, he's not getting shots being blocked and he's getting taken advantage of, or the book's out on him or something. But Connor Hellebuyck, that's why I bet the over last night. With 4 goals in the third period, I nearly got it. It was crazy. It was going into the third. I bet over 6.5, and I was like, I needed one more open net goal for a 5-2 or 6-1 final. I couldn't get it, unfortunately. But
Kings are good.
Kings are very good offensively. PK Subban went on Pat today and said he's picking the Golden Knights to repeat. You agree? They're 4-0. They're 3-0 at home.
Yeah.
And defensively, they're really a problem right now. It's really hard to score on Vegas.
Running 4 lines again right now. 4 good lines. Not dependent upon one to do more than the other. Everybody do your job. We're going to be fine. Hill looks great.
He does.
It's just I was looking at division prices last night for them to win the division. It's still plus. It's still a decent plus. It's them and Edmonton and everybody else. I don't know. The Kings are probably going to come up in there, but I was impressed.
Yeah, interesting game tomorrow night. Vegas goes to Winnipeg. It's not Hellebuyck. They've announced it. It's going to be Brossoit.
Oh, okay.
Well,
that's what you do. You give a guy a day off. That's perfect.
Well, not even that, though. Brossoit is a former goaltender for the Golden Knights. So he gets to see his old club. And Brossoit played really well for the Golden Knights last year. So he's the backup goaltender for Hellebuyck. So he's out. Brossoit in. Vegas goes on the road. We'll see what Vegas looks like. They've been on the road 1 time so far this year against the Sharks, and they won the game 4-1. So 4-1, 4-1, 4-1, 3-2 for Vegas, 4-0 start. I don't know if I concur with that, but man, they look like they're loose. They look just like carefree. Nothing's going to bother them right now with the way they're playing.
You can tell that goes when you finally do it and you do it together. It's the same team.
Pretty much,
except for Riley Smith it's the same team.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has roles defined. Everybody knows, when you know what a guy's doing before he does it, passes are made crisper. When fully healthy, they're top 3 or 4 in the league. It's not even a question.
They sent the goal. The guy who is responsible for the Stanley Cup got on a plane yesterday and flew. The tour is officially over.
Oh, okay.
The cup went back to Canada yesterday. So
nice.
Everybody was waving goodbye to the Stanley Cup. They did one more last hurrah of home game events, of letting people take pictures with the cup and everything else here in Vegas. And now it's back to touring around the country and whatnot for different events. But Vegas is no longer the custodian of the Stanley Cup anymore. So got to go and bring it back now.
That was fun.
Oh my gosh, was it ever fun? And I think we're going to be for a fun winter with this team. And Hill is just right now, he is calm. He has every angle covered. They're really hard to score on. Vegas went down 2-1, came back, won the game in the shootout last night, 3-2. So good stuff out of Vegas. This is an interesting.
Before we move on, I saw a great thing for shootouts because
there's no such
your argument for shootouts. No,
there's no argument.
They need a shot clock.
I know everyone's saying that. That's ridiculous.
Put the 5 seconds on there. Say,
it's dumb.
Touch the puck. You have 5 seconds. Get there.
No
more slow weaving.
No.
All that other
I'm not doing it.
Let's get to the net and go.
I love this. Make a mockery of the whole damn thing. I love this. Joke around, make it look dumb, show off how stupid this shit. I love what's going on in Washington. Everyone's so mad about the crawling.
That's off. That's silly the way he does it. Silly.
Shootouts are silly. That's the fun little story of this. Shootouts are silly.
Next time he comes to town, we'll run.
He might be. But shootouts are silly.
Don't forget anything.
He's making a mockery of it. Good. And he's going to keep on doing it because it's nearly unstoppable. It's beautiful. Keep doing it over and over again. I love it.
You know what I told my goaltender to do? As soon as he got close, just throw your stick at him.
That's not a bad idea, but you can't do that.
What do you mean? I lost my stick. I didn't mean to do it.
You can't. It's a penalty. You can't.
I didn't mean to do it. I just was going to make a save, and then my stick went up. Sorry.
You can dive. You can dive at it, and try to save the puck.
Yeah, that's fine.
Guys are pretty quick. They can just move the puck around.
He ain't moving quick when he does that.
True, but he could. That's like a gas pedal, right? If you see a guy coming at you, hit the gas pedal. a little slide
close enough, and then boom.
You could do that, yeah, but he's not getting close enough. He's shooting before he gets that close, where he's in striking range.
He's getting pretty close.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the anger. I love the animosity. I love the hand wringing over it. Change the rules. This is wrong. We can't do this. You're making a mockery of it. Good. It is a mockery. It's ridiculous. Get rid of the shootout. Get rid of the shootout. To football. If we had a 12-team playoff, our friends at On 1-3 Sports put this out today as to, and you're going to like this, I think. This is what a college football playoff would look like right now.
Blow this up.
Here's the bracket.
The 2 seed?
You guys would be the 2 seed.
Based on what?
Strength of competition. Assuming you beat Ohio State here, because Ohio State's 8.
Oh, that's a big assumption.
Just assume you guys and you guys beating Michigan too. This is the assumption. But as of right now, this is as of week 8. This is today now. Okay. This is your resume up against Ohio State's resume, up against Michigan's resume. I don't hate this.
Staples. What does he come up with this stuff?
I don't hate this. Look at the game you guys would play though in your first game at home. I guess it would be a bowl game. Yeah, you guys would be neutral because it's a quarterfinal game.
Those outside games are home games,
correct?
Right?
Yes,
for the better seed.
Yes. So Oregon will host Alabama. Oh my,
excellent.
North Carolina and Florida State. This is my problem with this bracket. I would say,
why would they play each other in that bowl game?
Correct.
They just played each other in the championship game.
That's my problem. I don't like. You should not be playing a conference opponent in your first round. That should be the one caveat.
Definitely not.
Yeah, so I would flip the seeds between Michigan and Florida State. I'd flip the seeds. I'd be Michigan the 6th seed, Florida State the 5, to guarantee that matchup wouldn't happen. So Michigan against North Carolina, which would be a bummer matchup for North Carolina. But Ohio State, Texas, Ohio State in Austin.
That'd be fun.
Oh, it'd be unbelievable. And then the winner plays Georgia.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Awesome. Oregon, Penn State.
Amazing. Even when they do this, they keep Alabama and Georgia on opposite sides so they can still meet in the final. I mean, you can't see if you can't see the scam, what are you looking at? I mean, every single year, the 1 to 4, the 2 to 3, make sure they're on opposite sides just so we can get them to that last game. Goodness gracious.
If you win, you play Washington for the right to play for the national championship. Penn State, Washington would be unbelievable. What contracts and styles.
Go Oregon and Washington.
It'd be so fun. So for you guys who are listening to the podcast, you're seeing a bracket that we put up for a projected 12-team college football playoff. The seeds would be 1 seed Georgia, 2 seed Penn State, 3 seed Washington, 4 seed or Oklahoma.
Game would be at Ohio State, by the way. 8-9. It would be at Ohio State. Texas.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. You're right. Yeah. Flip it around. Right, Texas on the road. Ooh. 6 seed Florida State, 5 seed Michigan, 6 seed Florida State, 7 seed Oregon, 8 seed Ohio State, 9 seed Texas, 10 seed Alabama, 11 North Carolina, and 12 Air Force gets in a college football playoff with Air Force. How awesome would that be?
Michigan minus 28
or more.
I don't even know what to make the number. It'd be high.
At the big house. I mean, what Michigan against Michigan State is 24 right now. Who's better, Michigan State or Air Force?
Michigan State's minus what?
24.
Oh,
Michigan
be 31.
Right? So if Michigan State
a touchdown better, yeah.
If Michigan State, who's better, Michigan
Neutral
State or Air Force?
home? It might be 38.
This will be at Michigan.
Oh,
this
it might
this
be
game
even
would be at
higher.
home, right? That's what I mean.
Gracious.
That's what I said. It's going to be even higher for this. But I'm in. Look, I want an 8-team playoff. Okay, that's what I want.
8 is enough. We don't
I
need
like
this
8.
12 stuff.
Okay,
I don't
but
think.
I love the fact if North Carolina could be in a playoff game, let's go. I'd be ecstatic for that.
Why would we play the championship games of the conferences then if we're going to do this? Don't those become completely irrelevant?
No, because they're auto bids. No, they're auto bids. You win, you're in.
Oh.
That's why. That's why you're playing
so
them.
you have to have them, then you're in. Okay.
Yeah, it's like college basketball. You win your conference, you're in. Top 6 conferences would get top 6 seeds, with the top 4 being buys. So that's why you play them.
Well, that's going to be contentious. Who gets the buys? The same conferences get the buy every year?
No.
Oh,
the committee gets to pick. The committee picks the top 4.
What a joke.
But that's assuming the Pac-12 is part of it, though, right?
Well, there's no Pac-12 no more.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Pac-12.
Well, we don't know that yet. The Pac-12 could still exist under the brand name. You could take. There's
Who
a
the
potential.
hell's going to be in the Pac-12, Perrault?
The Mountain West Conference, Oregon State, and Washington State.
They would get an automatic bid.
That's the question. I'm not saying it's going to, but that's the debate at the moment. Because remember, it goes beyond just football. San Diego State just played in a national championship game in college basketball. Mountain West Conference wants to make sure they get their money. But all the money that the Pac-12 is supposed to get from the NCAA tournaments with their teams, they also want their money. Who gets the money?
Who gets the money?
There's a lawsuit going on right now to find out who's getting the money. That'll really decide the fate of the Pac-12 as to whether or not they keep the branding. It's not going to be the same conference, obviously. But if you keep the branding and keep the money, that's the question. Mountain West right now has a very real reason to stay neutral, to keep the Mountain West Conference brand for basketball, not football.
I was going to say strictly for basketball.
But this is not a basketball conversation. It's a football conversation. So ultimately, basketball tends to lose. So the Pac-12 could still be a conference. So that means when you do the 12-team playoff, are we giving an automatic bid to the Pac-12? Are they eligible for one?
Football.
For football, given it's the Mountain West Conference.
I don't think so. It's just me, but
you're not wrong. I mean, everyone's debating it. It's a very real conversation. And I don't think there's not a really great answer for it. You want to tell me that the Mountain West Conference is not nearly strong enough? I would concur. If you say, how are you going to do it then? Well, I agree. I mean, it's 5 now. It's 4 now. It's 3 now. I mean, who are you giving the automatic bids to?
Oh, it sounds like a complete cluster. You know what?
It is. And that's the one piece of this
no rules
with the 12-team playoff that we don't have. They have to re-scrap it and rethink it. And that's why some are pushing for 16, saying go to a 16-team playoff.
We're going to ask the kids to play 12 games and then a championship game, 13, and then the winner, another 4?
FCS makes them do it. Why can't FBS?
17 games?
FCS does it.
Play into February? When the hell is the season in?
Why can't if you make FCS do it, why can't FBS do it?
How many games does FCS play?
12.
Regular season games. I think do they play 10?
12. No, they play 12 games. It's the same thing. It's Division 1A football and 1AA football. It's D1 football. They play 12 games. A lot of them are bye games. A lot of the FCS schools are playing Alabama's. And
then they do 16 down. I think they do 16.
The playoff is a 16-team playoff. Yes.
I'll put it in the chat if you know. I think it's
16. I know it is. I called it. UMass won the national championship in the 16-team playoff, 1998.
So
I know it is.
Play 4 more games.
If you go to the championship game, yes. Not everyone plays 17.
No, I know, but you got to play 4 more.
Yeah, if you want to win it, yes. Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. I don't know.
And they do on.
Oh, you're froze. Look at that. Bam, bam, bam. Come back. Come back, Jack. Take care of your chicken.
There
He's
you go.
Back. Okay.
So they do it on campus until the championship game.
Well, I mean, somebody got to travel, but at least one team don't.
Right.
I mean, it's
So,
the
like,
travel, it's the class.
North Dakota, North Dakota,
kids.
your North Dakotas, your South Dakotas, your North Dakota State, South Dakota States, Northern Iowas, the powers of the FCS. They're always top 2, top 3 seeds. They don't move until they go play in Chattanooga, which I think they still play in Chattanooga for the FCS championship game. I think actually Frisco now, right? They may move to Frisco, but to Frisco, Texas. But it's 16.
CW asked a very fair question in the chat. When do top draft picks, in air quotes, start opting out of these playoffs with so many games?
Well, Brock Bowers very well might be done playing football for Georgia. So you're seeing guys we've already seen guys say, hey, I'm going to go to the pros. It's already happening. NIL money. You saw it yesterday on Capitol Hill when you had senators saying it's getting harder and harder to cheer for kids who are millionaires in college.
You said that out loud?
Said out loud. Senator Manchin of West Virginia.
Coaches are making $10 million.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about? It's getting harder. And what the hell does the guy's bank account matter? You work with people who are millionaires who enrich themselves every damn day off the people that they represent. What the hell are you talking about?
I love when the millionaires say that.
Yeah, what the hell? Really?
When the millionaires say that.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're a coal country guy. I forgot Steve Manchin. I forgot who you're representing. Right. I mean, what are you doing? You're pandering to your people in the worst possible way. You don't like cheering for somebody because they're rich. Then stop watching NFL football or stop watching. How much was?
Well, in fairness, it's making it. Players were relatable way back when. It's becoming unrelatable. That's fact. But they're pros. College kids are trying to. They never earned nothing for a long, long time except some nice gear and merch. Went to kids with college.
That was wrong.
Went to school with kids that didn't have
20
to buy.
It was wrong. It wasn't right. It was always wrong.
That's what I'm saying. So now they're getting paid. You're going to say, oh, it's hard to cheer for kids because they're millionaires. Not all the kids are millionaires, one.
Fair.
And two, their window is super short because most of them aren't going to the league.
Nope. Capitalize while you can. And
the money's there.
And some kids are making money.
Advertise it.
Right. Some kids are making money on sports that there are no pros.
Right.
I mean, there's not pro softball to talk about. There's not pro gymnastics to talk about. There's nothing, So if you have a chance to make money on NIL right now, good for you. Make it as long and as quickly as you can right now. So it's a joke on that, but okay. To this weekend, as I mentioned, number 2, Michigan, laying 24 at home against Michigan State. You want to go near this?
No. You?
It's a rivalry game, but they stink. Michigan State is so bad.
So bad.
And we've seen that Michigan will run the score up. I mean, this is not going to be that surprising if Michigan just says, okay.
7:30 Eastern game. This is a night game for the Big Ten?
Yep. It's an NBC game. It's a nationally televised game.
Did you watch the last NBC game? Just to put you to sleep. They didn't have much enthusiasm doing the game.
How many people are in the stands in the fourth quarter at Michigan State for this game? It's a night game. Michigan's
24
coming in.
24 is the decide Michigan. The total's 48. Was this 38-3? 38-10? Oh, yeah. Goodness. How many people? I mean, I don't know.
The home games so far for Michigan State, they lost by 22 points at home to Maryland. They lost by 34 points to Washington in their last 2 home games.
Thanks for coming.
And now here comes Michigan coming in, laying 24 on the road.
Oh, boy. I don't know if this one's going to make the rotation Saturday night.
To watch, it's up against not much, so it might for you. It might for me, too.
I don't know.
Michigan's 2-0 on the road this year, ATS. They beat Nebraska by 38, Minnesota by 42. My gut says this is a 35-plus point win for Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, again, I would only lay. I'm always looking for a reason to take the dog. Between now and Friday, maybe we'll find one, but right now on Wednesday, I don't find none.
Yeah, if JJ McCarthy's hurt, that's about it. That's
maybe.
The only way. That would be
maybe.
That's the only way I'd sit there and say that. It's going to be a rout. The game of the weekend, number 3, Ohio State, taking on number 7, Penn State. Line's 4.5, totals down to 45.5, although it did tick back up a bit. Got to 45, it's ticked back up to 45.5. What do you make of this matchup here on Wednesday? I know you're very excited.
It's funny. The books are playing around with this game. They keep going up 4.5, 4.5, 4. 3 of the books are at 4 right now while we're talking.
Okay.
But the total's coming down, which gives me some sort of encouragement that it's going to be a tighter, low-scoring game. That's what I want. That's what I like.
I hate teasing college, but
what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
10.5, 51.5.
Dog and under?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
I hate doing it. I don't like teasing college, but in big college games where the numbers are very sharp, I'm like, Penn State going to lose by more than 10 points? I don't know. I don't think so. 51.5. This game's not going to have more than the scoring than that. I'd be stunned if you see 52 points being scored in this game.
Ask the chat. Penn State 4.5. Taken or laying with Ohio State? Who you got in this?
Just to give you guys the numbers. Penn State 6-0 ATS on the year, 2-0 on the road. Ohio State's 3-2-1. They are 2-1 at home against the number. They beat Maryland by 20 by a miracle because that was 17-17. They scored 20 unanswered to cover the 19-point spread, and that one closed 17. They beat Western Kentucky by 53 points. They didn't cover against Youngstown State. They were laying 44.5, and they won by 28 points. Right now, give me Penn State.
Does either team win this game by 10 or more?
No. This is a 3-point game.
It's tight.
One way or the other. This is plus 4.5.
Penn State. I'm completely biased. Yes, some of our audience is completely biased. Penn State. Franklin loves losing big games close in spectacular fashion. Thank you, Chef Benny. You're absolutely right. Ranieri said it to me yesterday. Look at his record in games with ranked opponents.
Bad.
Caca.
Uh-huh.
Shit.
This is supposed to be the change. This is supposed to be the difference. This is the changing of the guard.
Oh, I know.
Penn State rising up, taking over. Ryan Day gets pushed back.
All hope is not lost in the season if they lose.
It's not.
But, man, the high, if they win, we could set up
the Michigan game?
The Michigan game at home. Because, I mean, Ranieri said it yesterday. He goes, they're not losing another game unless they lose to Michigan.
Correct.
He said, so,
Yeah, this is the bet.
After you got off yesterday, he said, his season win bet's good. I'm like, well, thanks, Joe, but don't put it on them. And he's like, no, they're going to win every other game.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, that was the bet. I mean, that was
the Iowa game was the bet. Yeah, the Iowa game was the bet. They had to beat Iowa at home.
Right.
And then they did that with ease. And now they can lose to Ohio State and Michigan. That was the whole thing. 10-2 is right there. They can lose both games.
Right. That was the bet. All right. Move on. I don't want to talk about this anymore right now. Please.
Florida State laying 13.5 against number 16 Duke in this one.
Extra? This is extra? Or
feels extra. It does. A lot of people are very high on Florida State. They're getting first place votes. Jordan Travis is in the top 5 for Heisman, even though his numbers aren't that great, which it's kind of strange that Jordan Travis is getting this love for the Heisman Trophy. Don't really agree with it. Night game at Doak Campbell Stadium. Numbers coming down. It was 14. That was 13.5. Yep. There's some love for Duke in the market here, and I can't really fight against it. Duke's 4-2 ATS. They're 1-0 on the road ATS. Florida State's 4-2 overall. They are 2-1 at home ATS. They just killed Syracuse, but who cares? They didn't cover against Va Tech at home, laying 24, winning by 22. They beat Clemson on the road, which is the big marquee, along with the LSU win on the neutral field to open the season. Duke whipped NC State at home last week by 21, bouncing back after the loss in the bye week, the loss to the Irish at home. This feels like Duke.
Yet to be determined for me. I don't know. Wednesday, I don't know. First blush. Is this a big difference in? Now, Duke looked great against Clemson, and they hung with Notre Dame. arguably should have won that game.
Both
Whereas-
those games were at home.
Right. So now we got to go on the road. And then in the past, where this matchup would be different is the number of athletes would be way different on Florida State versus Duke. But Duke's, I don't want to call them a football school yet, but they're going to be okay. It feels too high.
Their defense,
Right
I mean,
now.
the numbers for Duke's defense, people are sleeping on this a little bit. Duke is giving up 10.4 points per game. That's 10th. That's number 4 in the country. 4.3 yards per play, 11th best in the country. 4 yards per rush, 55th best in the country. 5 yards per pass play, 4th best in the country.
Duke?
Yeah, Duke. Only give up 180 yards passing per game. That's 15th best in the country.
And they've played Clemson and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like that, they're still top teams, top 20 teams.
So, I mean, I think that's why the number's coming down. I think if you like Duke, take them now because I don't think this number is going to be close to 14.
Jimmy
Come-
Jack,
come kick.
4K, said you can't bet this game until you know the status of QB Leonard.
Yeah, that's a good point. My guess is it sounds like he's going to play.
Well, the way this line movement is, right?
Yeah, I think he's going to play. Let's see. Yeah, it's could return. He's questionable day to day. I don't know. I think it sounds like he's going to play.
Eron Shaw just came in and said Duke outright.
I think he could be right about that. I'm not lying. I don't think.
Outright messes everything up there in the ACC. That
No, it makes it great
drives
for
the driver's seat for North Carolina.
It puts Carolina. It puts
Right
my
in the
Heisman,
driver's seat, right?
puts my Heisman Trophy bet right there and right
we
where I
go.
want it to be. Yeah,
Let's go 2 hands on the wheel.
puts
10-2.
Drake May right where he needs to be because
Drive that
they're
thing
going to
home.
be 9-0. This is how it work out. They're going to be 9-0 when they play Duke on the 11th of November. So North
Ooh.
Carolina's because they're going to kill Virginia. They have Virginia and Virginia, somebody else in Campbell, but like they're going to win the games.
Campbell?
Yeah, they're going to kill.
The game against Campbell in November?
Yeah, so Carolina's going to kill them. So they'll be 9-0. They'll play Duke, and then they'll play Clemson. After they play Clemson, they play NC State. So if Carolina can get past Duke, and
It's going to be in New York. I mean, you're at least going to get to New York.
there we go.
If that goes, you're
That's
gonna,
all I need.
He's going to
That's
get
all
to
I
New
need.
York.
Then I'll bet the other 2 guys, and we're good.
Right.
That's all. The whole bet was made based upon just get him to be a finalist.
Right.
Get Drake May to New York, get him there, and they could be in the ACC championship
I did
game
that
against
last year.
Florida
I had
State. By the way, they won't play.
40-1.
They won't play Florida State. There's no divisions anymore for the ACC. It's top 2 teams. So they don't play Florida State on their schedule. So it could be, even with a loss, but how it plays out, there's a chance that North Carolina will still get there. So, and then they'll play a Florida State. So it feels like the ACC championship game could be a Heisman eliminator between Jordan Travis and Drake May.
Wow.
So
Campbell's nickname is the Camels. Were you aware of this?
I was, yes. Basketball wise, yes.
I did not know that. Beware
Campbell
of the Campbell Camels. DGen4TW and JC from KC both said it.
Beware.
And I trust pretty much everything the guys say in the chat,
Yeah.
which is good because not only, do we have that, they trust us, we trust them. I was going to read that, but I was like, the Camels. Huh. Okay.
It's a buy
Wow.
game. It's an FCS
So-
buy game.
Well, who's North Carolina play this week?
Virginia.
23.5.
Yep.
Blow up,
Blowout.
run it up type score.
Yeah, chance to
Pat?
pad the stats. Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm on over 3,150 yards passing through 6 games. Drake May has thrown for 1,900. So we're pacing quite well to get past that.
Okay.
Tez Walker, he's already had 2 games where we've thrown over 400 yards. He had 4 touchdowns and no interceptions last week in the big win over Miami.
Mm.
They're running the ball really, really well. Omarion is just a very difficult guy to handle in the backfield for them. 8 rushing touchdowns so far for him. He's been tremendous. So I love this Carolina team. I think they're really fun to watch, and I would love it if they ran the table and got into the playoffs. Be super fun to watch Drake May.
Huh.
Guaranteed, because the more nonsense that's going on with Caleb Williams, with him now asking for ownership stock in whatever team drafts him, Drake May.
That wasn't real, was it?
It's real.
That was not real. That had to be a setup.
I need a market. I haven't seen this anything but offshore, but I need a market in Vegas. Somebody please put up the likelihood of the first pick overall, and Drake May will be my bet to go for. He'll go number 1 overall. Teams are going to go on Caleb. They're going to go goodbye.
Who told him to say that?
He wants to tank his own draft stock. I think the kid's going back to school. I think Caleb Williams is going back to school.
Really?
I do. I don't think he wants to be in the pros yet. I think he can live an amazing lifestyle, make tons of money. Why rush it? Why go play for a garbage franchise? Want to go play for the Bears?
No. I don't.
No,
I don't.
You're going to go to a perennial loser. He doesn't want to. So, if you draft me, fine. I want a cut of your whole organization. I mean, Rodgers tried to do it with the Jets.
Do that. All of our meetings, I'm doing that. I'm telling him that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be Caleb. Yeah, we'll do the show. You guys can. I want a cut.
I want a cut. I want part ownership of your entire
small
operation.
Percentage. I want a cut.
Unbelievable stuff with that. So, Washington laying 26.5 on Arizona State.
Letdown.
Any shot? That's the thought, right? That's why I put it in.
That's the letdown spot.
Letdown spot, right? Arizona State's a decent team, ATS wise. They've been squirrely.
Is that a Pac-12 after dark?
It is. It is the last. It's the last game of the night.
7:30 Pacific.
It's the get right spot for anybody. It's the get even or get. What did Chris Andrews call it?
Get back.
Get better or get even.
Or get deeper.
Yeah. Bury yourself more. ASU is 2-3-1 ATS, but they're 1-0 ATS on the road. They've played all home games except one game against Cal. They were catching 13, lost by 3.
The juice came in and said ASU covers that number.
Yeah.
You'll hear it in the content space. This will be the letdown spot.
Well, it's a great game to bet because it's a standalone game, and if you're up late at night on Saturday night, you happen to be awake at 2:00 in the morning Eastern.
Right.
Game, chance to watch that game potentially. That's the fourth quarter.
I don't know.
Late.
I think Washington's on a mission.
Right? They could be, but Arizona State's good. I mean, this coach that they've got. I mean, he's got a pedigree.
6.5. The total's 59.5. Some places are touching 60.
Damn.
This is Penix. Let's add to that Heisman candidacy.
Potentially.
Right.
He's the only one. Start of play today. He's our betting today. He's the only one laying juice.
He's the odds-on favorite. Yeah.
Everyone is 10-1.
Disagree or agree?
I agree. I don't agree with the margin. I don't agree that he's that far ahead. I mean, it's -145 or 10-1. It's a massive difference. I don't think he's that far ahead of the field as what he is right now in the market. Basically means as long as he doesn't lose a game, he's winning the Heisman. It's over.
That's it.
I don't agree with that. In particular, one loss changes everything.
Well, one loss, you're in the market.
This is the Pac-12.
You're right. One loss, you're in. Their schedule's not easy either.
I think Washington is losing a game.
In addition to or because of the Pac-12 championship game?
No, it could be in the Pac-12, but then they'd be out of the playoffs.
If they lose a championship game, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Oregon might get they have left, they could lose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And Oregon gets them. Oregon gets a rematch or Oregon beats them.
Right. But you think they could lose a regular season Pac-12?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I think they could lose Washington's schedule. They play they could lose to USC on the road,
okay,
or to Utah at home.
Right.
Oregon State too. They end my gosh, that's tough.
That's right.
They end USC away.
Oh, they're at USC?
At USC.
Okay.
Utah at home.
Okay.
Oregon State on the road. Washington State at home.
Oregon State on the road? That's a tough game.
Agreed. I don't agree with the market where Penix is for the Heisman. I think it's far. He's not. There's a lot of value right now with taking the guys who are at 10-1.
No
question.
A
lot of value. You can load up on the 10-1 guys, the JJ McCarthy's who are 10-1. I don't like Jordan Travis. Bo Nix, I'm out on. Trying to think about the rest of the market.
What's the Oklahoma's quarterback name?
Yeah, Gabriel's 10-1. Dylan Gabriel right behind him.
That's right. I mean,
and they were on the table. He could be. Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma runs table. They win the Big 12, and they're in the playoff. Gabriel absolutely can win the Heisman. I mean, Drake May's 14-1. I got him at 16-1 preseason, but it's pretty much the same price right now. Caesar's is doing something weird, by the way. I meant to ask you this about the Drake May market. He's been 28-1 all year. They're just not moving it.
Wait, it's been what? 8 to
28-1.
28-1?
He's 28-1 now.
Nobody's betting it.
At Caesars, no one's betting the Heisman at all.
Well, no one's betting him.
Either that too, right? But I mean,
no one's betting. I mean,
BetMGM's at 14. They're at 28. They're twice the price.
Well, maybe somebody will bet it now. The boys are watching the show.
just telling you.
anything you put out there like that. I mean, I could send out a little SOS myself.
I was like, what is going on with that? I was like, this is really
14-1 at BetMGM.
It's 14. Yeah, BetMGM is 14-1. Yeah, 16 or DraftKings 18-1, 16-1 at FanDuel.
Oh, and 28-1 at Caesars. I will bet a little fun bet that won't be that by the end of the week.
So
I'm just saying.
Go look at it. Chat to me if you have Caesars. Open it up and see if it's still 28-1. It was last night. See if it moved from 28-1 last night. I was looking at.
It's good to know.
So I don't know. I don't get it, but it is what it is.
Right.
Speaking of Oklahoma's quarterback, they're laying 19 against UCF. They are perfect against the number this year. I think they stay perfect after this game too.
Central Florida going to score enough points to keep up with them.
Mm-mm. And Gabriel
total in this game.
Dylan Gabriel is the former UCF quarterback.
Yeah,
that's where he transferred from.
What's the total?
They're going to run the score up.
UCF, Oklahoma. Why don't I see?
Total is 66.5.
66.5. Over?
Probably
45 minimum for Oklahoma.
Yeah, Central Florida is 0-3 ATS on the road this year.
In a field goal. Yeah.
Yeah, so Central Florida has not covered yet on the road. They've lost 3 games in a row. Kansas State, Baylor, Kansas. Lost by 29 points as 2-point dogs on the road to KU last weekend.
Not going to be good for them.
Oklahoma kills them. Texas is laying 23.5 points on the road at Houston. This is surprising to see Texas go on the road to Houston.
Why?
Because you don't normally see this. This is a Big 12 game. This was a dream for years for Houston to host Texas.
Okay.
Dream.
Oh, they wouldn't play them?
Wouldn't play them. Texas is like, why are we going there? We're not going to give you the chance to scalp us. No way.
Right.
But now they're leaving.
Right.
So the Big 12 says, okay, before you leave, you're going to play at Houston.
23.5.
Total 61.
Drake May is 11-1 on the Caesar app in Maryland.
Good on Maryland.
Well, that's who checked in the chat.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good. Maybe they corrected it.
Go. Yeah, maybe they guys are watching the show. How you doing?
Good.
Thanks for being here. Yeah.
Isn't that strange, by the way?
Is this a blowout?
Hold on, real quick on that. Different states have different rules, different teaser prices, and different future market prices.
Nightmare. I think if I was running the book, it'd be a nightmare. That's driving me crazy. Oh, we need this in Maryland. We got this in Vegas. We got this in Virginia. What?
Right?
Put the price up and take the bets. I mean, like, listen, we were offshore. We had one price. Everybody got it. It didn't matter where you were calling from.
Because people, I'm learning this more on the juice when I'm doing futures. Yeah. People are coming to me and they're saying, "Hey, you got it at what book?" And I'm like, "At this book." And they're like, "That's not what I see." And they show me screenshots of like FanDuel in Illinois. Yeah. And I'm like, "Wait, what? How is that price? I'm getting 10-1. You're getting 12-1. How? Wait, what? Like it's different prices for the same bet in different states. Don't understand what's going on."
Okay.
That's a little weird.
Okay.
What?
No. I'm listening to you and I'm getting a text about something else.
Okay. You're saying okay publicly. What are you saying okay for?
No. I'm listening to you.
Yes.
But I'm not.
Right. Oregon's minus 20.5. Is Washington State going to bear the brunt of the loss last week? right? Feels like the Ducks go a little
I think
haywire
anything
here.
under 21's good.
They run it up and they blow the doors off of them.
Yep.
Third Saturday in October, Alabama, Tennessee, Tuscaloosa. Numbers 8.5, totals 48.5. This is a very intriguing football game. Tennessee has been very
Intriguing.
inconsistent.
How Tennessee can win?
Of course, they can. I think I'm more inclined to lay it with Alabama. They're at home. I'll admit this. I'll give the kid some props. Milroe's playing well.
Right?
He's playing well. They're not asking him to do much in terms of the intermediate passing attack. They're running the ball and throwing it deep. They're run, play action, bomb. Run, play action, bomb, which is what he does. So keep the defense honest, throw the ball deep. Tennessee just beat A&M at home by 7, which was a big win for them.
Good win.
Beat South Carolina by 21 at home. He lost to Florida on the road the last time they went on the road. 5-point favorites, lost by 13.
Because we're so dialed in the Alabama with the show and, TJ, and we got to get the kid on at some point. We got to have her on, especially, if they win this, maybe
Friday
next week or something, or Friday if she's available. That'd be great. I'm not impressed with Alabama's home field advantage. I'm not. They just haven't
What
been.
do you mean?
I feel like they should be. It should be more. Like it's just.
What do you mean by more?
Watched a couple of the games. Like it just doesn't seem like it's worth as much as it should be.
Well, TV doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, but it's not. They're not playing that much better at home.
Okay, but it's a hard place to play.
I don't know. I'm not impressed.
It is. It's a hard place to play.
It used to be.
I mean, they're 2-2 ATS at home.
Yeah. They got smoked by Texas.
Yes, that's the one loss. But then they were laying 34 to South Florida, won by 14 on the road. Arkansas did not cover last week. That's the one concern, I think, from a Bama fan perspective is like, okay, wait a minute. Was the Arkansas game because you were looking ahead of Tennessee? Or were you asleep?
That's who they are.
What do you mean?
I think that's who they are. I don't. Are they going to be blowing anyone out?
I don't know.
Doesn't give them the game and turn the ball over and stuff. Like I don't know.
Yeah, this number's coming down. I think if it goes below 7, I don't know.
It's not going below 7. What are you talking about? It's 8.5. It's moving up to 9.
Is it 7.5 at some places? I'm looking at a place.
Alabama, Tennessee's painted 8.5.
Okay,
There's not a 7.5 in the world.
Right. So
8.5, 9, 48.5 total. It's coming down. I mean, I think the Dogs live to cover. If you tell me that Tennessee can win,
it's an in-game bet for me. I want Bama below a touchdown.
Oh,
I like Alabama. I like Bama to win the game.
Okay.
Tennessee hasn't wowed me yet. In Alabama, this is what happens when Nick Saban loses a game early. This is just what they do. They just to piss off people like you. They just keep on winning and winning and winning, and they're in the conversation. And if they beat Georgia, now that Georgia doesn't have Brock Bowers, Alabama's in the playoff. Just telling you, they're in.
Oh, I know.
So
they may end up being the first two loss team to get in.
2-loss team. Who else are they losing to?
Bama?
Yeah, I don't think they lose again.
Just said they could lose this game.
They could lose this game. Yeah, but I think I like Bama to win.
SEC championship if they
to
go
who?
there too, right?
To Georgia? They're out. I think they got to beat Georgia to get in. They beat Georgia. That overcomes the Tennessee the Texas loss,
right.
And they're in.
No matter what happens in the game.
No matter what happens. They're 12-1 SEC champ. They're in. 100% they're in the playoff.
Oh, they wouldn't play them until the championship.
They will not play Georgia until the championship. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
They play Tennessee, LSU, Kentucky, Chattanooga, Auburn. That's who's left.
The season, you said they were going to lose 2 to 3 games. Now you're coming off of that a little bit?
Oh, more than a little bit. Milroe is playing well. The game they should have lost. Okay. They 100%. I thought they were to lose to Ole Miss. Didn't happen. And they could have lost to Arkansas. Tennessee can win this game. I'm not saying they can't. I mean, that's why I want to bet it in game. I want it below a touchdown.
Huh.
The Vols last year, that celebration on the field, Alabama fans and Alabama players remember that. Nick Saban remembers that. They got payback on their minds tonight.
I think Alabama wins the game. I do.
So, do they cover 8.5?
Sometimes that number just puts a stop on you.
Right.
I'm not in a hurry to lay 8.5 of the game with 48.5 total.
I want 6.5. Give me 6.5. I'll play it. I'll take
Under
Alabama.
7. Yeah.
Under 7. I'll bet it. Otherwise, I don't want to bet it.
All right.
Ranked teams playing ranked teams. We've got a couple of them. We just talked about Bama, Tennessee. Here's Utah, USC. USC at home laying 5 to Utah. This game's going under, is it not?
USC is now 7.
Whoa.
Yeah.
7.
7 and 56. I apologize. I didn't check the lines before the rundown today. I usually do that just to make sure.
Wait,
7.
wait.
Painted.
Let me look and see what
USC the play.
USC,
The play.
USC's the play.
You guys have watched Fantasy Island when you were a kid.
Out open. It was 5 at
play.
open.
The play.
And now it's so that move happened today.
The play is
Because
USC.
this morning that was not 7. That was not 5. That was 7.
What? Who's not playing for Utah? Probably, right?
Rising's not going to play again. I don't think Cam Rising plays again. I think he's going to the pros. I think that's it. He's getting that knee right to go play pro football.
Oh,
They don't need him. They haven't played with him. The backup kids played pretty well.
yeah.
What about the total?
Oh,
56 flat hasn't moved.
56 flat. Do you want to bet under in a USC game?
That's what everyone's waiting for, but it's Utah. I mean, it's Utah.
Who's the ultimate under team
Yep.
in the Pac-12?
In college football. It's
One
them
of
in
the
Iowa.
teams.
It's them in
Yeah.
Iowa. Only game that's gone over is the Cal game, and they won 34-14. Every other game's gone under. That was last week.
I don't. Jay Dow just put it in the chat. I don't want anything to do with this game. Thank you, Jay Dow. I think you're right. You ain't always right, but I think you're right there.
Don't blame me on that.
I don't want this game. 5 o'clock start our time, 8 o'clock or 8 o'clock Eastern.
Yep.
That's in a window, different window. I might actually watch some of that.
It's a Fox window, right? Fox TV window.
Yeah.
For that. That's them. That's their game up against Michigan State. Okay, this is an interesting tweet that you've uncovered here about
this?
About week 7 in the NFL. Could be a historical week. Currently, 9 of the 13 games in week 7 for the NFL, that's 69%, have a spread of 3 points or less. Since the merger in 1970, there have only been 5 other weeks where more than 2/3 of the games had spreads of 3 points or less.
Man.
10 of the 14 games, 71%, happened in 2016, 2017, 2005, 1983. 9 of 13 games, 69%, also happened in week 8 of 2016. Let me pull this down for a second so we can look at everything, read the whole thing. 63%, is most of the games with a spread of 3 points or less in a 16-game week. That has happened 6 times, most recently in 2016 in week number 1. This week is a brutal week for anybody in Survivor.
Oh, tough week.
This is going to be a hard week.
Tough
Given the spreads. You don't have did you say this is the biggest bye week? Most teams on a bye?
6 teams on a bye.
6 teams on a bye.
Carolina, Cincinnati, Dallas, Houston, the Jets, and Tennessee, all on a bye.
Oh boy.
Thanks for coming.
If you haven't used Buffalo, you might want to use Buffalo.
Well, if you haven't used Buffalo, you're using Buffalo. No.
I mean, you kind of have to.
Right?
Although, I mean, you could take the Raiders on the road, I guess, over Chicago.
What?
You could.
You want to do that?
I mean, there's some really hard games. Cleveland at Indy, Detroit at Baltimore, Arizona at Seattle, Pittsburgh at the Rams, Chargers at the Chiefs, Green Bay at Denver, Miami at Philadelphia, San Francisco at Minnesota.
Tough.
And the good teams are on the road against good teams.
Right.
Yikes. On this. Why did you like this so much?
Because it shows the parity of the league. It shows how hard it is sometimes during this season. Like you're rolling, you got a feel for it. You're coming off a 4-1 week last week.
Right.
And then you look at the board this week and go, I don't have a clue. I don't know. 2.5 threes, 3.5 twos, 2.5 threes. Oh, well, there's 1 8.5. Thanks. So I'll tease that down. Okay. Buffalo being every teaser, every single one. Take it down against New England. No problem. Put it with what? Seattle. Seattle down against Arizona. That's 8. Okay. Then what? Done.
Just so you guys know, Detroit's 5-1 ATS, Miami's 5-1 ATS. The Rams are 4-1 ATS. Those are your top teams against the number in the NFL right now.
Rams are 3-point favorites against Pittsburgh in LA.
Yep.
The Raiders were that. Wow. The Raiders got to that. It opened Steelers 1. It closed Raiders 2.5 for 3. Hard to
I don't know.
believe.
I like the Rams team a lot better than I like the Raiders.
Yeah, right. So that's what I mean. Like you start to look at what lines were.
Yeah.
You have, Detroit went to Tampa last week and was favored by 3.5. Now they go to Baltimore and they're dogs 3. Really? Okay. Is Baltimore that much better? Maybe. I don't know.
Tampa's favored against Atlanta.
Why wouldn't they be?
Because Tampa's not good.
Yeah, but I mean, were you going to make Atlanta a road favorite?
No, I'm going to pick them.
Oh, I think they started out 1.5, and they bet Tampa up.
No, it's 2.5.
What
a tough week. Green Bay's
the other
favorite
one
at
is San
Denver.
Francisco at Minnesota. I mean, San
Right.
Francisco coming off their first loss, 7-point favorite. Those are the only games. There's 3 games that are over 4.5. Everything's 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, or 3 or 4.
Yeah, this is the week where if you can pull out a 5-0 in the Circa Millions,
you're making hay, baby.
You're picking up a bunch of points. You're moving. This is moving week. If you're able to pull out a 5-0 this week, if you're on the right side of these numbers this week, you're going to do really well. You're going to see your standings jump.
We'll ask the chat right now because we're keeping the show tight. We're keeping it moving. Again, a lot of people in here like, subscribe, all that other stuff. What is your favorite game that's not 8, 8.5, or 7? What is your favorite play? Is it the Bears, home dog against the Raiders? How can it be? Is it the Washington Commanders only laying 2.5 at the Giants? Is it the Rams laying a short?
Saquon looked pretty good. Tyrod Taylor,
Right.
and nah, I want no part of that.
What about KC? KC's 5. 5.
It's a conference game against the Chargers.
Chargers. You see this? What the Chargers doing Monday night? I mean, like seriously, what do we do? And then Green Bay, Denver, the ultimate caca game. That is
in Green Bay's favored.
Shit.
In Green
Bay's favored on the road. What?
Yeah,
You're gonna have to suck it up and take Denver. That's the side.
Tease that.
Denver's the side in that game.
You want a teaser? You want a teaser pick? There's your teaser
That
option.
line is coming back to Denver. I'm telling you right now.
Tease it now, then. Tease it up to 7.
Denver's going to be favored by game time.
Oh,
and then you've got a battle. I mean, Miami and Philly. That's an awesome game. Sunday night.
It is.
Finally,
Sunday night is the
got
game.
a good game.
Yeah. At least going in. On paper, good game.
Oh,
yes.
please don't jinx it.
I'm just saying on paper. Game. Going in, I'm here for a good game too. I want it. They need it. Desperately, they need it.
52.
I mean, poor Al Michaels. Poor Al Michaels is all these guys who were calling games on Thursdays and Sundays, and Joe and Buck and having Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, like they're all having to scramble for other things in the game to talk about. Al Michaels gave a whole interview this week, and he was asked, "Why didn't you talk about Taylor Swift?" And he goes, "I'm not here to talk about." He said, "I'm not doing entertainment tonight."
Oh.
It's awesome. It's like, good for you, man.
Wow.
Don't have me talk about this crap. I'm not talking about this crap. Talk about the game. That's it. It's phenomenal.
I love when you just talk about the game. I love when we just talk about the game too.
So it's on that. All right.
Wow.
This is a game for you guys who maybe, if you're not liking baseball, you want something to watch tonight. WNBA Championship Series tonight.
Here he goes.
Vegas Aces tonight. Game 4.
Yeah.
Vegas is without Chelsea Gray and their backup center. This number was 1.5. This number jumped to 6 here. Vegas would play game 5 on Friday night here in Vegas at Michelob Ultra Arena to win their second consecutive championship, back-to-back WNBA titles. They can win it tonight. and not have to play Friday night. I don't think Vegas wins tonight. Vegas is not covered in New York yet this year.
6.
Yeah.
Multiple people put Green Bay. Guys, don't fall for the Green Bay banana in the tailpipe on Wednesday. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. Roger Long, senior member, trying to help you out. The Juice says Green Bay. I'm telling you, seen that game.
Scary.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Just avoid the game. If you're right on Monday, you can tell me. I mean, it's gonna be a frustrating one for you. You like Liberty, huh?
I do. It's just been a bad place for the Aces this season. It just hasn't worked out, and I think they're punting on the game in a way tonight.
We got a big injury, right?
Chelsea Gray being out is
that's a gigantic thing. No,
the reigning Finals MVP. Her in a walking boot. She will not play. Kaya Stokes is the backup defensive center. She will not play tonight. I think they just know they've got something in their back pocket. So, like, why try really hard to not? They want to win the game. I'm not saying they're tanking and throwing the game by any means, by any of that. But I think if this game gets to be a little bit suspect and down by double digits, I don't know if you're going to see like an all-out effort by the Aces to keep this game close. They can win it at home on Friday night, which would be more fun for them anyway. They won both games in Vegas by double digits. They whipped them. But this place has been a house of horrors for them this season.
Is this the game? It's a 5-game series, right?
Yep.
You want them plus 180 to win the series today, and then come back.
Liberty? Oh.
And then come back with the other one?
I mean, no, because Vegas is going to be a monster home favorite.
A monster home favorite?
Yeah.
Is she going to come back for that game, or she's out?
I think she's going to play in that game.
Oh, I thought she was done.
She's not done. She's done for tonight. She's been ruled out for tonight, but they don't play till Friday.
They play right. It's Wednesday.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a foot injury. She played on game 3. She got hurt in the fourth quarter and came out. So, like, I don't know how they have not said how serious it is.
Oh.
So maybe she tries to give it a go. They shoot it up, or I don't know. She gets treatment. I don't know what it is. It could be a stress fracture. It could be we don't know exactly what the injury is. She's in a walking boot. That's all we know is that Gray's in a walking boot.
Right.
I just think in this building in particular this year, I mean, this is the place where Vegas lost by 30 plus points to New York. Liberty shoot the ball way better at home. That building's going to be extremely vocal to keep the series alive. That's their emotional leader on the court. Is Chelsea Gray. Not only is she their best player, but she's the emotional leader of the Aces.
I got tonight. I'm co-hosting with Wetzel, Mr. WNBA, and Coach is coming on.
Nice
segment. I'll let them tell me what to do. I have no idea. Is there a possibility we could go to this game on Friday night?
If you want to, sure.
Oh no, we'll be on the air. It looks like.
We will be. Although probably it's going to be an 8 o'clock. Probably,
I don't know.
5 o'clock start.
O'clock
Yeah. We'll be on the because it's ESPN.
Oh, well, yeah. Take the girls. Let them see girls playing.
Yeah, it's crazy. They have a 5-person rotation now. They're going to play a lot of minutes. They're going to get tired.
I mean, there's only 5 people on the court.
Yeah, but their bench depth is gone.
Oh,
for Vegas.
Oh,
in the finals. Up against a deep team from New York. Yeah, I like the Liberty tonight at home to come up. I'd be psyched for Vegas if they win it, but I can't. If Chelsea Gray plays game 5, I think they're probably 6 or 7 point favorites.
Right.
If she doesn't, it might be 1. Might be a pick. Fun game to watch. If you're looking for something to watch tonight, this is a fun game to watch tonight between these two teams, between Vegas and New York.
What about the next story here listed on the thing? The practice. This guy didn't show up for practice. Is he in a walking boot?
You're the Sixers fan. What do you do with this dude?
I'm not a Sixers fan. I like this song, but man, I mean, what a mess! What the hell's going on?
Did not show up for practice.
Starts in a week.
Yep. Today, this morning, he was supposed to be at practice. He did show up for the team meeting in New York, but did not show up for practice today. Got a week out from the start of the season. Friday, Harden said that there is no chance that the relationship between him and Daryl Morey could be repaired, and that he repeatedly referred to Morey as the front office without saying his name during an interview with ESPN. Can this derail your whole season? Can the Sixers' whole year be dumped?
We just have to ship them out.
There's a lot of money tied up in this guy. $35 million you're tied up in this dude. He just decides I'm not showing up. I don't want to be
not good.
Not good at all.
Tell the truth. Everybody got to tell the truth. When somebody doesn't tell the truth, somebody knows they didn't tell the truth. It makes things uncomfortable and awkward.
But who's not telling the truth? Daryl Morey or James Harden?
They might both not be, but at this point, Harden seems like he's saying what he wants.
I know, but do you believe the report? Do you believe the report that he tanked the opportunity to go play in Houston? That during the meeting, he was such a pompous prick that they basically said, "Get out. We're not taking you here."
Really?
Yeah. Houston was going to trade for him.
Okay.
And then Ime Udoka sat down with him and explained, "This is what we're doing. Here is the plan." Like, and Harden just basically was like, "I'm going to get my shots right. I'm going to score right. I'm going to be the guy right." And Udoka after the meeting was like, "Goodbye." They were going to trade for him to give him a max contract. According to Woj, he blew like $100 million contract.
Does it get to the point where a guy like that just don't want to play no more?
I think it's pretty obvious that James Harden feels like he has to play basketball because what else will James Harden do? But I don't think he really wants to do it.
Man, oh man, that stinks.
He's set for life. The team, I don't think him and Joel Embiid get along. He hates Daryl Morey. You have a new head coach and Nick Nurse coming in,
who's probably going to hold him accountable more than any coach has really ever held him.
So
at this point, I mean, since Oklahoma City,
right?
Oklahoma City, it worked, and they were all young and working for the same thing.
Right.
You start working for yourself on a team, it don't work. Team don't work. No. Terrible.
So we'll watch.
Season wins under.
We haven't done much with the NBA yet, but as the season starts, we'll get close next week. Yeah, we'll get it next week. Yeah. This is an interesting quote that came out of G2E. So today,
I'm so sorry that I was not in person to hear this panel. After reading this article, I am really upset at myself for not being in person to hear this. I would have been right in the front row, raising my hand, going, "Wait a second, what? Say that again."
So Justin J. Carter of Penn Entertainment was on a panel at G2E. It was a panel discussing trends that were going to come in the gaming world, not just sports betting, but the gaming world. He referenced Taylor Swift and the Taylor Swift effect that is going to come to sports betting, believing that, quote, "In and of itself, sports betting is not an extremely profitable venture." Saying, well, everyone's chasing the white whale of the younger generation as pop culture comes. The Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift relationship is one example where sports betting is an amazing tool to create energy and excitement to open up our venues to an entirely different segment of people. The first part you have said that in and of itself, sports betting is not an extremely profitable venture. But the problem is that today, ESPN Bet unveiled its new logo.
Did you like the logo?
I did. It's nice. But
it was underwhelming for me.
You paid how much money to ESPN?
A lot. Bailed them out.
And you're going to say that sports betting is not an extremely profitable venture?
Yeah.
If I'm an investor in Penn, I'm going, can you, why did you just do what you just did then? If this is not a profitable venture, what are we doing? Now, you have said it's 2%, 3%, 4%.
Stock's
right?
down $1 today. I didn't like it. Just check the stock. Red stock down.
I just don't understand this on the surface. Part one, you said the quiet part out loud. Part two, Taylor Swift type stories will generate handle for sports books.
Well, no, it'll generate interest. You can take the interest word and then
isn't interest handle?
And say, oh, that'll create handle, and you'd be lying. It does not do that at all. It doesn't. So Good luck with that. You got this whole thing now. You're gonna have to really figure out. Generating handle is very difficult. Generating interest is very easy. Talk about the games. Put up a QR code on the screen. Say, here you go. You should bet this right now. This is good. But that's a long leap. I mean, that guy just jumped over a cavern, a huge, like Grand Canyon, like gap to go there. I mean, but you're seeing popular culture get put on slot machines. I mean, we saw them at G2E. NFL has slot machines.
The NFL slot machines, yeah, it's true.
There's going to be a Taylor Swift slot machine.
I don't think so.
No?
When she's 50.
Oh.
Not now. No.
No?
Remember, she's getting heat in Australia for having her tour be sponsored by a casino property in Australia.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I don't think Taylor Swift will be tying herself to gaming anytime soon. She doesn't need to.
Huh.
There's no point. It's just, I don't agree with this at all. I don't agree with the pop culture BS, same game parlay, Travis Kelce. Let's go ahead and use every Taylor Swift song name to create some same game ticket. I don't believe in it at all. I mean, this is, if that's what we're banking on as an industry to keep the thing alive, we're in deep trouble.
Huh.
So no, I don't agree with that. This is a good idea. But he did say the quiet part out loud.
Right.
Sports betting is not an overall profitable and profitable.
No, it's I mean, the percent margin when you're really good at it can be as high as 8 to 10%.
Mhm.
If you get all the parlay handle in the world, yeah, it'd be great. If you can just get parlays, it would be awesome. Then you would be able to not take straight bets and just take parlay bets.
If you
and
believe
20%.
Believe our guys like Chris Grove, the casinification of sports betting is coming sooner rather than later. As he wrote to me on Twitter a couple days ago, it's not if, it's when. Do the books offer pre-made parlays, and that's it. That's it.
Well, that's what the lotteries do.
Yep.
A lot of the lotteries don't do the straight bets. You got to go do parlays.
Straight bets, and
straight bets will be available for the bookies. Street guys,
it's incredible.
They'll always take straight bets.
That'll be absolutely a horrific scene if we see major operators only offering pre-populated parlays to the customer. Absolutely awful.
That's one good thing about us living here. We'll never have to worry about that.
Thank God.
Never.
Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry.
What?
The text message I just got. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Whoa. Okay, better to book a time.
Was it from the
Wizard
of Oz? Okay, never mind.
Yes.
All
We'll talk.
right,
Oh my God, I can't believe I just
deep breath. We're almost done.
Okay, better to book a time. Astros money line plus 115.
Bet it, but I like over instead.
Over 9.5.
Bet this.
I
like this. This one I like. The other one I feel like we're flipping a coin. Not crazy about, but when I like the over, I like the dog. So I think you're live.
Okay.
But I like the over.
Liberty minus 5.5.
I'll just say book it just to be controversial. I have no idea. I didn't even know they were playing. You're frozen. Look at your face right there. Now your eyes are closed.
Hold on.
Oh boy.
Are we back or not? That was a big freeze.
That was a big one. Yeah. No, you're good. Now you're back. Yep.
Total reset there. Everything went blank on the screen.
Oh no. And
Pittsburgh Penguins money line against the Red Wings.
Your
boy Jari up against the Red Wings has a phenomenal record. Last year had a 1.01 goals against average. He shut out the Washington Capitals in his only road start so far. And Husso is not a good goaltender. I like puck line. I like money line.
Is Jari confirmed?
Yes.
Oh,
he should be. I mean, that's where. Hold on. Last night everything was expected.
Yeah.
So,
I just got the text. I got the text. I didn't even know the guy was watching. My man.
Confirm Jari. Confirm Husso.
When I give him the deuces, I forget. I think it's Butchie. Yeah, Butchie.
Butchie. Yeah.
He said Astros and Liberty good.
Oh, like it. I'm excited.
Good.
Yeah, I like them both.
Good.
Jari and Husso both are confirmed.
Over.
That too. Money
I like
line's
the game over.
Easier bet.
I take Detroit.
Really?
If I had to pick a side, I don't have to pick a side though, but I would take Detroit.
Yeah, I don't like Detroit tonight at all. They have not. They're young. They get the firepower, but I think Jari, amazing enough, Jari could be the difference. They're 2-1 on the year so far. They lost to the Devils 4-3. They beat the Lightning 6-4. They beat the Blue Jackets 4-0 in their last game. But TNT game tonight. So you have national TV game as well. So you have hockey tonight, baseball tonight, and basketball tonight, all on national TV.
Perfect.
Watch it. So lots of things to get to. Let me see. Do we have any super chats? We do not have super chats. That's good.
No
so
super chats today.
No super chats today. So we can go right into favorite thing about today.
Two things. One, this T-shirt. It says, "Take care of your chicken." It's a Marshawn Lynch saying. I saw the shirt. I had to get it. I love it. I wore it the thing today with my my other
I wish
hat.
you had that when I saw him working out next to me at the gym. It would have been great to.
I might have to go buy 10 more. I got 8 DMs. Can you get me one of those shirts? Can you get me one of those shirts? They had a store. I don't know if it's still there. It was a pop-up store, Marshawn Lynch store, selling all his expressions.
He's doing so well right now.
You know,
I mean, I give him a ton of credit.
Yeah.
He really is doing well.
Yeah. So I wore this to the doctor because I got to take care of your chicken. Was like symbolic for me to take care of yourself. Men, we're idiots. When you're sick, go to the doctor. As you get older, live better. Like, take care of yourself. Make healthy decisions. If it means not having something, do it. It's just smart. And I talked to the doctor today. Everything, knock on wood, pretty good.
Good.
Dave, you got to get better sleep. You got to do this. You got to do that. All that other, everything that you're supposed to do, just keep doing. You've done it good. Do it better. That's number one. Number two, you sent me that text with the quote from Simmons. And this is my other favorite thing about today. Bill Simmons talked about you can't just be famous and have a podcast anymore, was the headline of it. And I saw our friend Ben Carey asked you, what does that mean for you guys? And, you guys went back and forth. I was in a waiting room, so I read it, but I didn't read it. But I'm not really worried about what anyone else is doing. I never really have my whole life. I like to know just because I want to encourage them. I'm not trying to, push them down. But I know what we have here, and I know what we want to keep doing. And this quote right here, this one got me excited, like to the point where, it was almost like title shot excited. Can I read I'm going to read the last paragraph. Let me read.
Sure. Go ahead. Yeah.
It says, Simmons later said the more podcasts that start, the more likely it is the bigger podcasts will see growth due to an overwhelming amount of choices and the familiarity that large shows provide. And then he went on to say, in quotes, people kind of gravitate toward the trusted people, the bigger people, the people they know, and the best stuff. So in a weird way, the more podcasts that there are, the better it is for the bigger podcasts because there's too many choices. People are like, oh, I know that one. If it's a personality or it's an angle, ? I think that's going to win. And I went, it's funny. All of our conversations off the air have been saying the same exact thing.
Yeah. And he said, there's 20 million podcasts out there. How do you stand out? How are you different? And if you're competing against a bunch of people in the same space, why are people going to listen to you? Which is what we talk about all the time. Why? What's the and then so Ben asked me, what would you say that is for y'all specifically? And my answer to him was, BVB is a lifestyle show dressed up as a sports betting show. Our power is that we have the ability to talk about life as strongly as a side. There isn't a line that Dave can't dissect, and there isn't a topic I can't have a strong opinion on. The Brigades are fuel. Which is, when I saw it today, I went, this is what we're doing. This is, again, are we a podcast? I don't know. Are we a TV show? I don't know. We're all of it.
Great question last week on the Twitter. We may need to redo that one again because I think it changes all the time. Like, I think originally we may have started as a podcast that airs, but now it's a TV show with a chat. Like, it's, I think it is. I mean,
I would agree. And it's replayed on radio and replayed on TV.
Right.
But the live show really is when you get the full feeling of what we do every day. And
I think so.
How you get what we are.
Yeah.
And the blood and the fuel that we get from the chat and Roll Call Friday and everything else that we've put together. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's it's cool to see stuff like that in the podcasting world. Being obviously, I'm going to go teach my class at UNLV coming up this, in an hour.
Yep.
And I teach audio. I love that audio has never been great. I love radio. Okay. But I loved radio because of audio. Audio has never been better right now. And TV is amazing. TV and video has never been bigger either. But both content still, at the end of the day, is king. Sorry to be quick today, guys, but we got to run. Dave was late. I got to run to class. Back tomorrow for Thursday, longer edition of the show coming up tomorrow, back on our normally scheduled-ish time of 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you there. Dave, Matt, tomorrow.